I do think that this film is going to bring in a new age of vampire films. I'm seeing it. You know, Jared Leto is a sex icon in his own right.
Bit of a weirdo.
But that fits with the role, right? And this film doesn't need to hit that $1 billion for it to be a success.
No.
It's just gonna enter the public consciousness. And this year and last year, there's been this revitalization of things like The Vampire Diaries and Twilight for people who are younger than us. And I feel like it might come full circle and we might get more vampire content.
But is that a good thing?
I don't know. I feel like that's a market that becomes saturated very quickly.
It's very cheap to do, it's very easy to do, and then people just overdo it to the max, and then it quickly comes out of fashion again. So, it's a tough one. It's a tough one to really get your head around, because it seems like just yesterday it was here, and now it's come back. Like, The Vampire Diaries was still hot till, like, 2014.
But I think they still have a show running based on The Vampire Diaries, the originals, or maybe some subsidiary of that
There's
story.
another spin-off of the originals of
is.
Vampire Diaries.
Yeah. And it's still going.
That is
and they're
nuts.
gaining an audience.
Well, they're finding a new audience, like 10 plus years. That is nuts.
Audience. Yeah, right?
Wow, okay.
You think about that.
Hey, NarendraTheComic here! Yes, so right now we're going to be reacting to the final trailer of Morbius. Now, my problem with this, and it's a very small problem, is that really, there hasn't been that much marketing for this movie. And yes, they may have made the smart choice because it does seem a bit stupid to be marketing your movie at the same time as the Batman marketing its movie, because no one's going to pay attention to Morbius when the Batman's putting out teasers and clips every single day. So maybe they played the smart game by deciding to not put stuff out early and really waiting until Batman comes out for them to hit the marketing and put teasers and clips out after that point for the final month and really slam it in. But let's get to this clip anyway. Final trailer, the teasers, the other ones have looked really good. Some interesting visuals, some cool stuff going on. Let's get to it. Let's go.
Michael Morbius.
Discover who you're meant to be. The bad guy.
Oh, shit.
Wait, we just got Keaton and Matt Smith.
Oh.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Stuff like that's why I think it should be a 15.
Michael,
Yeah.
what have you done?
I was trying to help people. But the cure. It's a curse.
Michael.
I have powers that can only be described as superhuman. But there's a cost. Now, I face a choice. To hunt and consume blood. Or die.
We all have monsters within us. It's up to us to control it.
What if I can't?
Michael Morbius.
What is he doing in this movie?
You've been given a gift.
Who is he in this movie?
Not exactly.
Time to let go of what you used to be.
Discover who you're meant to be.
All our lives we've lived with death. Why shouldn't they know what it feels like for a change?
What on earth is he playing as well?
Who you are.
The bad guy.
Morbius.
You don't look anything like you do on the news.
Yeah, you look downright robust.
Pilates helps.
A new Marvel
Oh,
legend
they got the
arrives soon.
splatter on the camera there.
Yeah.
That's
really nicely done. I do think that last shot, if it had been cut just a second earlier, it would have hit even harder, but that's just a small thing. There were actually more questions coming out of that trailer than we had going in.
We don't know who any of these people are except for Michael Morbius.
Like, Morbius is there. You have Matt Smith playing, I guess, a bad guy?
Bad guy?
Maybe a detective. I don't know. You got Tyrese Gibson as well, who hasn't been in many of the trailers, or at least in much of the footage. And Michael Keaton's in this, which we knew about for a very long time, but at the same time, who is he playing? Like, is he playing Vulture from this other Spider-Man universe? Is he Adrian Toomes? Or, what is he? Is he a police chief? Is he a prison chief? Is he a scientist?
Is he a detective?
No, he's definitely not a detective.
Not a
He looked
detective.
like he was taking him into prison,
Oh, then he wouldn't be a detective.
right?
is really odd because I feel like for the final trailer, we should know more about these other characters and not just Michael. But all we're getting is Michael's story and the crux of his conundrum. I wanted to help myself. I'm now a monster.
But the truth is, that's enough. Because you don't need to know these other things, because this is a monster movie. And a superhero movie. And a Marvel movie. It's got all those things going for it. You don't need to say, because I'll tell you, my interest is so heavily piqued from the unknown.
Yeah.
Because it's like, how are they going to tie this together? Because I cannot see Michael Keaton coming into this film unless he's playing Adrian Toomes or a variant of Adrian Toomes.
Honestly, this variant stuff has really thrown a spanner in the works. Really,
especially with the fact that variants can look the same and can also look different.
Yeah, I feel like that is a really poor move. Either look totally different and they never look the same, or they always look the same.
Yeah.
Because I feel like for the average viewer, it's going to be very difficult to understand which versions of which people are who and why they're different. Yeah. And that's not the one we knew before, but it's the new one. But then that one over there is different.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot. But for this film, I'm really interested in the way that they've visualized his powers. The way that that bus was like melting into the air. Is that his sonic radar?
That's his echolocation, I would believe.
That sounds so cool. And the way they've actually visualized it for the audience is interesting.
Yeah.
It could have been really overdone with the whole radar echolocation moving out and inwards from him. But they made it look interesting, and I feel like there's going to be some really sick fan art surrounding things like that.
Oh, yeah. The fan art is going to be insane. It's actually going to be mad. I can see some really cool stuff on Instagram already popping off, but once the film comes out and we really get to see these visual concepts, I'll tell you, it could be one of the coolest looking films we've seen in a while. Cooler than Spider-Man No Way Home, cooler than the Batman is probably going to be, just because it looks distinct and different.
That does set it apart from all these other superhero films though, right? The way that they're choreographing their fight scenes, the visuals, and the way the story is being moved forward, I feel like that's going to really set it apart.
Yeah. Plus on top of that, the fact it is part of the MCU technically, and it is part of the Sony Spider-Verse, means that Sony is really gonna go balls deep in this. They're gonna say, we need to make a Spider-Man 4. We need to make an Amazing Spider-Man 3, a Morbius 2, a Venom 3. Whatever it might be, it's all there for them to do, as well as some other spin-offs. They said Silver Sable, not that interested in, to be honest with you. But a Black Cat, maybe. Spider-Gwen, maybe. Eventually down the line, these are good ideas, but I think go with the core stuff right now. Venom 3, Morbius, maybe Morbius 2 if this film does well. And people want Amazing Spider-Man 3. And they want Spider-Man 4. So I think at this point, guys, give it to them.
Give the people what they want.
You get all the box office as well. Marvel and Disney are not taking any of that stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the way it works is the films with Tom Holland's Spider-Man, I believe, will be co-produced with Disney and Marvel. But the other ones, like Venom, are not co-produced. They are exclusively Sony. But the way they've done it is they've kind of tied it in without it truly affecting the MCU because of the multiverse stuff.
Oh,
right?
That's really
so
smart.
That way they can continue making all these spin-offs which they could have never done before. Like before the multiverse and before Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange, they could have never done these other variant Spider-Mans from the OGs. But now, because it's in the public zeitgeist, you can get away with having multiple Spider-Men going on at the same time.
And the people want it. Online, since December, I've seen such a huge amount of, we want the Amazing Spider-Man 3. Give Andrew the Amazing Spider-Man 3. And let us see this new version of his Spider-Man that's put some of his demons to bed and see where he's going with his life.
Yeah.
And if they can sign on Andrew Garfield for it, then you've got straight money.
Even if Andrew Garfield is like the middle point, the center point of the Sony Spider-Verse, which is Morbius, which is Venom, which is maybe Into the Spider-Verse, with him being the main Spider-Man, I mean, they have something there. I don't know how long it can last, but I think they should run it and see how it goes, because this is a big opportunity for them. I mean, Spider-Man No Way Home was Sony's biggest box office film ever in their history, and they've been around for a long, long time, so trust me, they're going to want to make as much money off of this as they can. Anyway, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please do like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel down there. If you didn't, Spider-Man himself, gonna come after you. You don't want that. Do they want that?
No.
You really don't. So just subscribe anyway to avoid that. I've been NarendraTheComic.
I've been Nonsensei.
She's been Nonsensei. You've been Graham. We'll see you next time. That's tomorrow. If you don't know, make a video every single day. Been doing it every day for over 1,000 days now. We ain't stopping till we get to 10,000 subscribers. So do subscribe. Pop back again tomorrow for some more quality shitty content, because we're hashtag never not here, just how it goes. Also bring the Pukwas means nonsense in Punjabi. We also bring that. Bring a lot. Bring a little, do a lot, do a little. But we do indeed bring the quality shitty content on a daily basis. So see you tomorrow. More of the same. Slightly different. But essentially the very same. Once more. See you then. Skadoosh.